We're downtown, celebrating with San Diego's brightest teachers and most talented students. Come join us with CYT and the cast of Newsies.
You don't need money when you're famous. They gives you whatever you want, gratis.
Such as
a pair of new shoes with matching laces,
a permanent box at the Sheep's Head races,
pastrami alright with a sour pickle, my personal mousse on a wooden nickel. Look at me, I'm the king of New York. Hey, come on. Suddenly, I'm respectable, staring right at you, lousy with stature.
And I've been with all the marketing marks.
I'm blowing my dough and going deluxe.
And there I be,
ain't I pretty? It's my city. I'm the king of New York.
a solid gold watch with a chain to toilet,
my very own bed and an indoor toilet,
a barbershop haircut that costs $25.
a regular beat for the Star Reporter. M's great punk, she's the king of New York.
who'd have thunk? I'm the king of New York. Bunch of wet noodles, almost about to drown in the drink.
When she fished us out and drowned us in ink.
So let's get drunk. Not with liquor, fame works quicker when you're king of New York.
My face beaming. Tomorrow they may wrap fish shades in it, but I was a star for one whole minute.
Cox presents a salute to teachers, brought to you by San Diego County Credit Union. The San Diego County Teacher of the Year Awards, celebrating the finest in education. Tonight's salute is produced in partnership with the San Diego County Office of Education and sponsored by San Diego County Credit Union, the Sequan Band of Kumeyaay Nation, and Procopio. Your hosts for this evening are one of San Diego's favorite radio personalities and a veteran San Diego broadcast journalist. Please welcome Delana Bennett and Dennis Morgino.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the 29th annual Salute to Teachers show. Right? I'm very excited to be back with you tonight, and also pleased to be here with Delana Bennett. Welcome.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, thank you. It is an honor to be here tonight, helping shine a bright light on our teachers and the incredible things happening in our public schools every day.
Yep. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I don't think I'm saying anything controversial by noting that we live in a world of intense disagreement. And, you know, to an extent, it's always been that way. What seems to be different in this day and age is how much of that disagreement seems to be fueled by ignorance.
I think you hit the nail on the head there.
Well, my point is that the teachers we're honoring tonight are champions of literacy and critical thinking. And to me, that's the best anti-ignorance medicine there is. So I'm very glad that you're all here to help us celebrate tonight.
And we have a great show planned for you. So we'll be back in a minute.
The right connection can open a world of curiosity for your child. With Cox, families that have a K-12 student and receive government assistance could qualify for low-cost home internet with Wi-Fi. That means more learning and more achieving. Qualify now. It's time to connect with Cox.
Research shows that the average high school graduate lacks basic skills to manage personal finances. SDCCU is stepping up to help bridge this educational gap so students can gain the skills they need for a successful financial future. SDCCU encourages teachers to learn more about the SDCCU Biz Kids program and to incorporate these educational resources into their lesson plans to help make a positive difference in the lives of students. For details, visit sdccu.com.
I think she's a great teacher because she's always kind to all of us. She makes sure that we learn what we need to, and whatever we're not good at, she'll make sure that we learn how to do that and that we get good at it.
She teaches you that you can express yourself in different ways without having to be scared about it.
The best thing about her is her personality and how she runs our class and how nice she is. And she makes everything fun in her classroom.
She always wants you to do your best. She always wants you to strive to be your 100% best. And if you can't, she'll help you up the way.
She taught me to read and figure out words.
He always is able to make every kid leave his classroom with a smile on his face. And he also opens our eyes to science, and science I think is a really important subject because we get to learn about the world around us, and he teaches us about that.
There was always a new experience waiting to happen in her classroom, and no one ever really knew what it would be. We were just always excited to be there.
She's nice to all of us, and the way she teaches, you remember it.
She pushed me to try as hard as I could and to be focused and just to try my best.
Well, welcome back. With all the things that have changed in education over the years, there's one thing that's remained a tradition. The class picture.
Yes,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
That's right. And you know you all have them, right? Remember Crazy Hair Day? Remember the day that Mom dressed you in plaid?
You've been looking at my files again, haven't you?
You know, Dennis.
Yeah,
you know.
I have that one. Anyway, we decided we needed to have a class photo of all the Teacher of the Year nominees this year.
Exactly. So just before the show began, we had all the nominees come up on the stage for their class photo.
So here they are, the class of 2019.
Now,
good-looking bunch.
Yeah. Now, we know you're going to want to share this with probably everybody you know.
Right. So be sure to use the hashtag Cox salute, and let's get our class photo trending, okay?
Yeah, let's do it. As we shared a few minutes ago, this is the 29th annual Salute to Teachers. You know, it's incredible and wonderful that Cox has been celebrating teachers like this for nearly 3 decades.
Yeah, and they're very happy to be doing it, but Cox does not put this party on without help.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be possible without the support of our community partners.
We are proud to have worked with our title sponsor now for 5 years. Please welcome, from San Diego County Credit Union, Sarah Bilyeu.
Good evening. Teachers are more important than ever. Every day they work to inspire our children, to enrich their lives with knowledge, and to shape them as the responsible leaders of tomorrow. San Diego County Credit Union is proud to pay tribute to those who proudly call themselves teachers. Now, let's meet the first group of nominees.
Desiree Brown, Escondido.
In first grade, we talk a lot about we learn from our mistakes. We can't learn without them. And you make a mistake, your brain is growing. And so there's just a lot of that positive the talk and support of each other as they're learning. And they find out, yeah, it was a little bit tough to begin with, but I've got it now. So if it's tough, we just don't have it yet.
Maria Johnson, Cajon Valley.
All our 590 students or so are second language learners. They're either second language learners to English or Spanish. And we're the first computer science language school in the nation. Our second graders have been learning computer science, coding, since they were in TK, if they started TK in kindergarten.
Susan Gakowski, Hamul Dozura.
There's so much that happens when they play. They have to learn how to negotiate with one another. They have to learn to problem solve. There's a lot more happening than just the obvious play. And so even making our learning activities play, I think gives them a better experience at school, helps them fall in love with learning, and I hope that'll continue and follow them throughout.
Colleen Montgomery, Poway.
I've spent a lot of my career really thinking about how to teach my students to be better readers, and critical thinkers and better writers. And I'm discovering more and more that my students need more instruction on being better listeners and speakers. And so I think that sometimes listening and speaking is something that isn't valued as much, in the classroom. But I can tell you that when my students are better listeners and better collaborators, then it helps them to be better readers and it helps them to be better writers because it enhances the conversation that we're having in the classroom.
The first finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Colleen Montgomery.
Colleen Montgomery teaches English, Avid, and the critical study of mass media at Rancho Bernardo High School. She shows her students they each have a voice and an opinion that matters and helps them learn how to thoughtfully disagree.
I think that it's really important to me that all of my students learn to see things from different perspectives, to be able to step outside their own point of view and to be able to think, this is how someone else might view this issue. And it doesn't mean that they have to change their point of view, but I think that that makes them better critical thinkers. And that's my goal no matter what class that I'm teaching.
Colleen's passion is to really help develop individuals and their own sensibilities of who they are. And in doing that, she wants her students to interact with one another. And I think what drives her is that desire to help bring out the best in her students and help them to be able to discover who they are.
I love the moments when I get to sit down with them and interact with them. I know that they're walking out of a lesson and that their worldview has expanded, a little bit more, and they want that. I think that the students that I teach really desire to learn.
Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for showing me that I have to value myself first if I want to be able to value and appreciate others. And I just like to thank her for improving me as a human being.
I really feel so fortunate to be able to practice the craft of teaching, and it's not something that comes naturally and that just happens. It's something that I know you all understand that we practice and practice and practice in our classrooms, and I feel really fortunate to have a family that supports me as I do that practice, and colleagues and staff and admin at Rancho Bernardo High School and in Poway Unified, where we're encouraged to think critically ourselves and model for our students the kind of innovative thinking that we want them to do. Thank you very much.
Off to a roaring start. One of my favorite parts of this show is reconnecting with the teachers who were named County Teachers of the Year at last year's show and have spent the year representing their profession.
That's right. And our first returning Teacher of the Year has spent her entire 33-year career in the Escondido Union School District. Can you believe that?
You know, it's funny. She actually now teaches in the same classroom where she sat as a second grader.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. She's completely committed to finding and revealing the strength in each of her students, and she never, ever gives up.
Please welcome your San Diego County Teacher of the Year, Stephanie Glanz.
Good evening. Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai is quoted as saying, "One child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world." I've had the privilege of meeting and learning about the world changers that we're honoring tonight. After being truly inspired by them, I'm quite certain that students from all around our county will also be world changers someday because of their influence. Now let's meet our next group of nominees.
Meg Rabine, Chula Vista.
The most important thing I teach is to be the best version of yourself. And it takes work to be the best version of yourself. So you're gonna make mistakes, but we learn from those mistakes. And the other thing I tell them is you need to make a contribution to this world. You have to contribute because your uniqueness needs to be put into this world. And how can you be the best version of yourself every day? And I try to role model that for them.
Christine Hansen, Escondido.
So we laugh a lot in my class. Math is not a punishment. In the past, math has been very isolating. Like you did your worksheet, you stayed at your desk, you couldn't talk to people. That doesn't work. So we do a lot of interaction things, and there's not worksheets. It's doing up at the board, doing work, talking to your neighbor about it, and really bringing the social element into it.
Brian Doherty, Sweetwater.
I know a lot of them aren't going to grow up to be scientists, but I think it's important to have an understanding and appreciation of the world. And I want them to know how to take a problem and kind of attack it through a systematic method. So we talk a lot about the scientific method and the engineering design process and how you can use that to solve problems, which is great in science, but you can use that to solve all kinds of real world problems, no matter what field they go into or whatever they decide to pursue in life later on.
Dallas Meadows, Ramona.
I think the most important thing that I teach kids is how to set goals, how to take an inventory of your own personal strengths and weaknesses, identify what you need to do to improve, and make a plan for that, and how to look back at your own thinking and your own learning and make a plan for how to change that and to do better next time.
The second finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Christine Hansen.
Christine Hansen teaches 7th and 8th grade math at Quantum Academy in Escondido. She shows her students that even if they've struggled with math in the past, she can guide them to a place where they've mastered it and maybe even enjoy it.
We really focus on having a growth mindset. Just because you haven't learned it yet doesn't mean that you can't learn it. You just need to be taught the right way. And that's what I tell the kids. It's not math's fault. It's just you haven't been taught the right way that you need to learn, and everybody learns differently. So it's finding that different way.
You do hear kids say, I don't like math. I don't understand math. I don't get it. And I think Christy takes those kids that come into the class feeling that way and gives them confidence, because she does find that way for them to not only just understand it, but apply it and see the importance it has in their life.
The most important thing I teach is not necessarily the math skills. It's, perseverance, asking questions, and really helping them to develop to be that an adult and be a well-rounded person.
Thank you for changing my life so much, for impacting it to the point where I'm trying to follow in your footsteps and become a math teacher.
Thank you so much for this honor. I am so grateful to be in a district where I have so many opportunities to learn and grow, and to be at a school like Quantum Academy where all my colleagues, they have the same growth mindset that I so enjoy. It's always like, how can we learn this? How can we fix this? What can we do different? So I'm just so thankful for the opportunities to learn and grow as an educator. Thank you.
Sequan's support of SDSU over many years has positively impacted our students, the campus, and the broader region.
Thanks to Sequan, we're able to send kids to college so they can improve their lives and their communities.
Compassionate organizations like Sequan help us change lives every day.
Sequan is proud to support education and educators at all levels throughout San Diego.
Change it up, okay? Catch them off guard. Get in the trench. Do what you do. Battling his way to the end zone. Nobody can stop him. Down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him.
Stay tuned and sing along with one of San Diego's rising stars when we come back.
Since her grandma's been gone, we don't see that much of each other.
I want Cody to know who I am.
할머니 나 이거 언제 배워줘 그러면서 내가 손녀를 볼 때마다 핸드폰만 보고 있어요. 손녀는
Select profile picture.
Press this. Have you taken a selfie before?
No.
Oh, okay.
손이 떨리고 마음이 떨려서 아무것도 안 돼.
I want to teach you how to do the video part.
Okay.
You're going to click on that.
Now I start.
Oh, well, I got half of me.
Good?
Yeah.
Hello, Jessica.
Hi, Cody.
Cut in.
I worked up enough nerve to ask her if she would dance with me.
오늘은 김치를 만들 겁니다.
This is my Mahjong class that I'm doing today.
I love you so much. I can't wait to talk to you and hear from you soon.
Wow. Love it.
I think that education is a key to open any door that you want.
I think that a good education makes you a more open-minded person and kind of helps you succeed educationally in the world, but also societally you can function in the world.
If you want to bake a cake for someone and you don't know how to read, how you're going to bake the cake. Or like if you're driving, how you're going to read the signs.
Since you get to learn more, you get to think more.
When I'm at home or away from school, I can remember what I learned in school and it helps me.
I think it's important to take your education seriously because that's all you have. You can have material things, but that can be taken away. In the end of the day, all you have is your knowledge.
Welcome back, everybody. How are you enjoying the show so far?
I definitely think we have the award show for real heroes right here. Am I right? Yeah. Yes. I grew up with a busy single mom, and I spent a lot of time alone in the afternoon. And I would stay after school at my elementary school. And one of my teachers, she was from New Zealand, and she played the ukulele.
Oh.
So she would sing the Kookaburra song every day after school. And she would sing, "Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, learning how to read." Now, I'm pretty sure she changed the lyrics to that. But what it did is it ignited my imagination. I didn't know what a kookaburra was, and I wasn't interested in reading. But after that, when she spent time with me every day, I wanted to know what a kookaburra was, and I wanted to read, and she helped me every single day after school to pick out a new book. And it really opened my world as a first grader growing up in a small town.
Yeah, I'll bet, that's a great story, and I'll bet everybody out here has a story similar to that because that's what teachers do. They open the doors of imagination so their students can discover the world, right?
Yes, they do.
Our next presenter represents a group with a very long history in San Diego and a strong commitment to making our region a better place to live.
Please welcome, on behalf of the Sequan tribe of the Kumeyaay Nation, Maria McRoberts.
Thank you. Good evening. Sequan would like to salute the teachers who dedicate their lives to educating our children. Be proud of the work that you do. Your influence on students doesn't end in the classroom and will impact young lives in ways you may never know. It is my pleasure to introduce the next group of nominees.
Michele McIntyre, Alpine.
When I started teaching elementary school, I had this aha moment of, let's teach third graders to sing and dance. And it really reignited that passion I had for performing arts because I could see what it was doing for my students. Some kids that may not shine as readers or high math students were suddenly feeling great about themselves because they were really wonderful on stage. Now it's definitely my passion. It's where my passion lies.
Jennifer Ward, San Diego County Office of Education.
All of my students receive special education services in the category of deaf or hard of hearing. So I go to schools and I usually pull them out. Sometimes I push into the classroom depending on their age and their needs and work on their IEP goals. My focus is usually self-advocacy, so we work a lot on how to teach students to advocate for themselves and how to use their voice. They have a voice, but how do they recognize that and get themselves heard?
Julie Taylor, Solana Beach.
I'm lucky enough to work in a district that's starting to focus on social emotional learning as an overall goal, and just watching these students develop vocabulary, strategies, knowing when they need to take breathing breaks or take 5, and advocate for themselves. They're healthier, they're happier, and with that, they're more open to learning and they make even better progress. So it's just this big picture it's so inspiring and motivating.
George Ratcliffe, Chula Vista.
It's kind of a mantra at our school where we teach the kids, obviously, but this idea of stepping back and allowing the kids to collaborate and to form ideas amongst themselves, not just be given pre-generated ideas. The exploration part is the exciting part about education. You just don't know where it's going to lead. Sometimes it leads to absolute successes, while sometimes it leads to some retries, I would say. And ultimately, though, mistakes are the greatest learning opportunities.
The third finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Michele McIntyre.
Michele McIntyre teaches math, science, and performing arts at McQueen Middle School in Alpine. She challenges her students to step outside of their comfort zone and learn to improvise, skills that will serve them well, whatever path they choose.
I think that's the number one thing that performing arts does for students is it shows them there are ways to learn other than traditional ways. And what they get out of it is so much more than what they put in. Collaboration, communication, those are all skills that will serve them well in anything they take on in the future.
Watching Mrs. McIntyre is a pretty special thing. She has a natural chemistry with the students. They gravitate towards her, they want to succeed, and I think more importantly, they find themselves with her. She has a way of having our students look deep inside themselves and finding that person they didn't even know existed.
Across the board, middle schoolers are trying to figure out where they fit in the world. And so the more support they have, whether it's in academics or in the performing arts, it's all the same thing. They just want to feel like they belong and they're accepted.
Without her, I would not be probably as successful because those little moments in theater that I was with her and those little things that she said brightened my life so much. So I would just say a big thank you.
Thank you so much. I am fortunate and blessed to work in a small school district where everybody knows your name, but they also see the value in the performing arts and have allowed me to build a program that reaches my students in ways that maybe traditional academics and classrooms don't. In my theater classroom, we say, we found the theater and we found our home. And that's the feeling I want all of my students to have. And it's the feeling I have tonight. So thank you so much.
Well, if you've listened to San Diego radio at all in the past 30 years, you will know our next guest's name and voice.
He is the first and only radio producer in the National Radio Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yes, he is.
That's
yes,
a big deal.
And he's also a graduate of Castle Park High School and a big supporter of the Sweetwater Union High School District.
Please welcome, from KGB Radio and KUSI TV, Little Tommy Sublime.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. My radio career started when I was still in high school after my counselor caught me ditching school with my guitar in hand. His name was Charles Dappert. He said, since I love music, why don't I listen to a radio DJ talk about music in the cafeteria? It was career day, so I did. The very next day, Mr. Dappert set up a tour for me to visit a radio station, and I've been in radio ever since. He gave a poor kid from Chula Vista raised by a single mom a chance in life. So thank you to Mr. Dappert. The impact Mr. Dappert had on my life cannot be measured. And speaking of music, I met a young musician right here at the Salute to Teachers broadcast a couple of years ago. Turns out she's a young girl who has a very bright future ahead of her. I think she's going to be a rock star. Ladies and gentlemen, Marissa Grace.
the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. You're mine, and we belong together. Yes, we belong together for eternity. For eternity. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Tomorrow I'll miss you. Remember, I'll always be true. And then while I'm away, I'll write home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you. All my loving, oh, I will send to you. All my loving, darling, I'll be true. All my loving, yeah, I will send to you. Oh, and I'll send all my loving to you. Each time we have a quarrel, oh, it almost breaks my heart. 'Cause I am so afraid that we might have to part. Each night I ask the stars up above, why must I be a teenager in love? Hey, where did we go? Days when the rains came down in the hollow, playing a new game, running and laughing, yeah, skipping and a jumping in the misty morning fog. Our hearts are thumping. You, the brown-eyed girl, you, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la
Everyone sing!
Just like that. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
Sweetwater Districts, let me hear you.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
San Diego Unified, keep it going.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la.
One more time. Ladies and gentlemen, Marissa Grace. Good job, Marissa. I'm proud to be from Chula Vista. And I'm proud to be a product of the Sweetwater Union High School District. What up, Karen Janney? Where I'm from, we need role models. It's very cool to know that in the South Bay, there are many great teachers inspiring our youth today. Please welcome, from Sweetwater High School, home of the Red Devils, San Diego County Teacher of the Year, Sasha Haynes.
Good evening. I didn't have a teacher of color or anyone that looked like me until college. So when I began to struggle in middle school, I wasn't sure where to turn. Miss Nye didn't look like me, but she knew any teacher could connect to any student, and she saw me. With her, I again found my passion for learning and a new love for math. I grew up in a family of educators, and like them and Miss Nye, I knew I wanted to be an educator. When we see each student and we know their story and how they learn and their history and their beliefs, we are better teachers. I love math. It's true. I love math and I love teaching, but most importantly, I love connecting to my students and empowering them. Let's meet the next group of inspiring nominees.
Kelly Logan, Grossmont.
So trying to make them feel like the process of reading isn't just about reading, closing a book and putting it down, but the process is about really interacting with the ideas in a text and then seeing themselves as people who can contribute something new to those ideas or who can take a different way of looking at those ideas.
Don Dumas, Sweetwater.
You have to make sure that the kids see themselves in history, that they identify with a lot of the people who have made history in the past, and not just the people who get the credit, but the people that are on the ground, putting their blood, sweat, and tears into whatever historical development.
Chris Rodenberg, San Diego.
Because of the nature of the independent study, it's imperative that when I review a student's work, I have to not only determine whether or not it's meeting the standards, but give the students that feedback in writing. So it's not enough to just tell a student, you missed number 10. I need to tell the student why you missed number 10. Our students are learning to become independent, lifelong learners. And so my job really is to coach them toward being able to do that.
Cheryl Bailey, Sweetwater.
Even if they don't choose necessarily a job that is involved in science, they've been in an environment where they've been asked, like, did you do your research? Did you ask the right questions? They're going to be presented with information on a regular and continual basis. And so that is just like such a great skill that science classes allow for, is to evaluate information and data and make informative conclusions and analysis from it.
And the fourth finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Don Dumas.
Don Dumas teaches AP U.S. History at Bonita Vista High School in Chula Vista. He makes history come alive for students, illustrating how the past continues to impact their present and their future.
History gives us not only an explanation for some of these societal wrongs that we're dealing with, but it can also give us a blueprint for correcting those and making a better future for everyone. Because all people are history makers, and their record is there for us all to examine.
Part of his personal mission is really making kids feel like they belong, and he really believes deeply in the idea of democracy and how do we work together to bring that about for the good of every citizen.
Since I always teach a lot about fairness and equity, I try my best to model fairness and equity in the classroom. Everyone in the classroom has a voice that matters, and I try to make them feel comfortable sharing that.
He gave a voice to people who often don't get a voice, and that completely changed the way I view history and the way that I view our society. And I would thank him for giving me this passion for history that I now have.
Wow, this is overwhelming. Thank you. To my wife, Carolina, my sons, Frederick and Howie, thank you so much. To my principal, Dr. Roman De Rosario, thank you for always encouraging me to be myself and to teach from the heart. You all inspire me, and my students, past and present and future, continue to inspire me. And I believe that's what teaching is all about, and that's why I love it. It's an opportunity to inspire each and every day. Thank you so much.
Research shows that the average high school graduate lacks basic skills to manage personal finances. SDCCU is stepping up to help bridge this educational gap so students can gain the skills they need for a successful financial future. SDCCU encourages teachers to learn more about the SDCCU Biz Kids program and to incorporate these educational resources into their lesson plans to help make a positive difference in the lives of students. For details, visit sdccu.com. Stay right here. A salute to teachers. We'll be right back.
Now you know it's our TV, innovative television, to hear and to see. Just look at this world and all of its hues. Look at this thing looking at you. Check out this cow, check out this place. Check out these guys floating in space. It's our TV. I'm in your house. La 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 ITV.
Tonight's salute is made possible by the generosity of these sponsors.
The most important thing I've learned so far is to persevere relentlessly. No matter what, just keep going. Tackle any problem that comes along your way.
If you have something mean to say, just keep it to yourself and don't make other people cry.
We should always strive towards greatness in our own lives because we are in control of our own future.
Perseverance, because Mr. Ratcliffe really teaches us to never give up and always try our best.
Go into every situation with a positive mindset and just step back and look at things from different perspectives because there's a positive in every negative.
Everyone deserves a second chance.
You can change your mind a lot when you're a kid, but then when you're an adult, you're already grown up and you have less time to do that.
Do a compliment every day. Always give a compliment. Because really making someone smile, seeing someone happy and know that you did it, just makes you feel better and makes someone else feel better. And it's like toxicity happiness. It'll spread and it'll just make everybody feel better.
Growth mindset is important because now, ever since I learned it, I set my goal for my life already. Now I know what I want to do and I'm going to accomplish it.
Whatever we do for ourselves is going to die with us, but what we do for others is going to live on forever.
Welcome back. How's everybody doing? And how do you feel about the teachers we've met so far? Incredible, right?
Good rambunctious crowd tonight.
I know, I love it.
No, we love it. Keep it up. Keep it up. Serious. Our next presenter represents a firm whose mantra sounds much like that of an effective teacher: to provide innovative, practical solutions to complex problems.
Please welcome from Procopio, Tony and Dorothy Dane.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You know, baby, we know a lot of incredible teachers.
We do, honey. In our family alone, we have 7.
And don't forget the 4 coaches, they also teach.
I think teachers are the most valuable players.
I think so too. And in that light, Procopio is proud to present the next group of nominees.
Nicole Miller, San Marcos.
It has never been more exciting to teach politics with young people. I mean, every day in the news is something different, and I love to just be able to dive in with them and try to figure out what's real, what's not, and what makes sense and what doesn't. So I love being a government teacher, especially in the craziness of today's political climate.
Danielle Ryan, Carlsbad.
We sell about 1,500 yearbooks, and so that's
work that is going to go into the hands of 1,500 students at our school. Our website is published for the whole world to see, and our magazine gets handed out to our entire student body. So they learn the value of producing a product, about timeliness, about how to work as a team, all these skills that are so important in the real world.
Melissa Davis, Del Mar.
I'm preparing my students for a future that is really unknown. There are jobs that have not even been created yet that these students are going to be doing. And so what does it mean to be a culture of thinking within that? How do we allow kids to not just learn the information and forget about it, but find meaning in it? And so one of my passions is really diving really deeply into student thinking and learning.
Stephen Whitaker, Poway.
I think that in the world of education, we're constantly talking about rigor and about challenging students to be successful in the world, but when it comes to students who happen to have IEPs, a lot of times there are too many excuses that the students can't be successful. And with my students with exceptional needs, I think it's important that people recognize that they're also capable of extraordinary things, just like any other student is.
Becky McKinney, Escondido.
Science is exciting. We should be geeking out over the awesomeness of science. It is experiments and the oohs and the ahs, or why did something do that? And I think one of the ways that you can bring students to that is to give them wonder and let them experiment, let them design their own experiments. And if they fail, that's okay, because that's the process of experimentation. And just building that hope and excitement through wonder, I think really allows students to realize, oh, I'm already a scientist. Yes, you are.
The fifth finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Nicole Miller.
Nicole Miller teaches AP U.S. Government and Politics and Yearbook at Mission Hills High School in San Marcos. She teaches her students the art of respectful disagreement and creates a supportive environment where they can engage in tough but meaningful discussions.
I think it's one of the most important things that they should be learning about. We have to be able to read and write and do math, absolutely, and we have to be able to be engaged in civics. We need to know what's going on. We have to question what's happening in the world. We have to be able to figure out what's important and then also just what's true. And I think my class is a great place for people to practice that.
I think it's important for kids to be civically engaged and to have a voice in matters that impact them in our community, in our nation, and in the world. And Nicole helps them understand complex issues and topics and presents both sides of an issue and allows kids to debate, come to their own conclusion about topics. I think that's important and relevant in our world today.
I think the most important thing I teach is civic engagement. To join groups, to join a political party, to join even with friends and discuss what's going on and to challenge what's going on, to think about it. Get out, get into your community, make a difference, get your voice heard.
Having her as a teacher has just shown me how much like we can get along and like how much we have the ability to change what is around us.
Blown away. Thank you so much for this honor, and I just wanted to say a special thank you to my husband, who is also a high school history teacher with me. We teach right next door to each other, and he inspires me every single day to be a better mother and wife and teacher. And this is for you and for my beautiful daughters and my students, who that's why we're here every single day. So thank you all. Thank you.
Okay. I think it's high time we check back in with our class picture. How's it doing?
Yeah, well, I just checked #CoxSalute, and I think we need more of you to put those pictures out there. Make sure you're taking selfies, make sure you're taking pictures of the teachers that are up here, and #CoxSalute.
Which she's been doing backstage.
Yeah, I actually have been on Insta, but let me take a picture of you guys right now. Beautiful.
There we go. All right. Good job. All right.
All right, so we should get back to business. And our next presenter was well into a successful career with a tech company when his daughter started kindergarten at Nestor Language Academy.
He was so captivated with the program, he knew he had to be part of it.
He now teaches math to his fully bilingual middle school students.
Please welcome San Diego County Teacher of the Year, Jose Villegas.
Good evening. Some people are born knowing they want to educate, to inspire, and nurture. It comes from the heart. Others, like me, fall in love with the teaching profession at the perfect moment. For me, it was becoming a father teacher when my daughter was my student in my class. It allowed me to see every student as my own child. I would ask myself, is this what I want for my own daughter? We all want our own child to be nurtured to grow, to dream, to succeed, to lead, to inspire. Treat every child as if they were your own. That is teaching from the heart. Here is the next group of nominees.
Lindsay Cato, Fallbrook.
Well, I think teaching on a military base is definitely different than anything I've done before. The students are still the same. They're still eager and excited kids, but it comes along with the fact that they may have just moved, or a parent might be deployed, or there could be other factors that might hinder their learning experience a little bit. But I just think there's still so many things that they bring. It's such a neat experience to be working with military families because they have the experience of traveling and living all over the world.
Jen Mathis, Chula Vista.
It's important to make kids feel like they're not only heard, but they feel validated. And so one way that I do that is, we do our Meet Up, Buddy Up, our Harmony Circle activities, and the kids share their highs and lows with me, and those are opportunities for me to learn what I can do for them that may not relate to the academic work in the classroom. Maybe there's something that's going on in their home life that I could, support them with.
Hilda Martinez, San Diego.
What my position allows me to do is create that opportunity to get a second and a triple dose of a lesson. Super fine-tuned to the student's strengths and needs. We always want to honor what they do know and use that to our advantage, but it's done in a very small group, very systematic way. And more often than not, kids just thrive. They really just need additional learning opportunities.
Teresa Flanagan, Oceanside.
Transitional kindergarten standards are half of the kindergarten standards. And so we learned the alphabet, the sounds, counting, reading the numbers, working with numbers. But then the most important thing that I would like them to leave my classroom with is a sense of being valued and loved at school, and that it's a safe place to learn and make mistakes, but also celebrate accomplishments.
Manny Aceves, La Mesa, Spring Valley.
I think one of the most important things that I can get to my students is that, yes, you are going to be successful as an individual, but there's a purpose. The purpose is you want to make this world a better place, because really we're trying to get them to be successful citizens of the United States. I get excited when I see kids starting to live in community and want and have that desire to help their fellow classmate. I love being a part of that.
The sixth finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Hilda Martinez.
Hilda Martinez teaches literacy to kindergarten through 5th graders at Zamorano Fine Arts Academy in San Diego. She is her students' biggest cheerleader and provides encouragement and support to let their abilities and strengths grow and shine.
Response to intervention really is a systematic way of instruction where you are catching kids that aren't thriving in a regular classroom setting with a regular common curriculum, and you're giving them specific tailored instruction to their needs. And when students walk into my door, sometimes they do know that reading is hard for them. And so my job is to take away those obstacles, to empower them, to really instill the love of reading so that they can see themselves as readers.
They know that when they walk into Miss Martinez's classroom, that she's not teaching subjects, she's teaching students, and she really believes in them. And it's more than just about reading, it's about how can I help you reach your goals and do the things that you want to do. So it's like a partnership, and they enjoy being with her.
We know that literacy is just the gateway to knowledge. And so we empower them. More than anything though, I really want them to love reading and not see it as a chore.
I'm going to say thank you because she helps me a lot and she was there for me when I needed her.
I can't believe no one's cried. I like to be the first. And I feel like this is my quinceañera. I often say that I know a lot about very little. But what I know for sure is that the one thing that teachers are the heart of education. Not the latest curriculum, not the latest technology piece, but we are who children remember. And so I congratulate everyone in this room, my mentors, my professors, Derek Murchison, my principal, for allowing me to go to school and have faith in my students and teach with heart. And couldn't have been possible without my family, my mom who came here from Mexico and taught us to value education. My husband, my daughter, and my mom taught us to value education so much that my two sisters became teachers too. So teachers are amazing. They are my world. Thank you.
SDCCU is deeply committed to helping individuals in our communities make educated financial decisions by delivering the best financial products, services, and education. We understand that encouraging and maintaining good financial health is essential to fostering a healthy, safe, and thriving economy. This is why financial wellness is a key component of SDCCU's community outreach.
Research shows that the average high school graduate lacks basic skills to manage their personal finances. Many young people also experience difficulty balancing accounts, and half of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. SDCCU is stepping up to help bridge this educational gap so students can gain the skills they need for a successful financial future. SDCCU has partnered with the San Diego County Office of Education and the County of San Diego in support of the Live Well San Diego initiative to offer the SDCCU Biz Kids program to educators so they can teach their students about money and business.
Financial literacy is an important part of a child's education, and the San Diego County Office of Education is pleased to partner with the San Diego County Credit Union to provide valuable resources to local teachers. The SDCCU Biz Kids program will help lay the groundwork for students to begin building a successful financial future.
The SDCCU Biz Kids program meets local, state, and national standards for financial literacy. It's designed to teach students the basics of money and business and to help them make better financial decisions early. These priceless skills will influence the purchase of their first car, the financing of their education or first home loan, and enhance their lives for years to come.
SDCCU encourages teachers to learn more about the SDCCU Biz Kids program and to incorporate these educational resources into their lesson plans to help make a positive difference in the lives of students.
Founded in 1946. 7 decades of excellence. One of the most well-respected law firms in the Western region. collaborating to solve your problems, focused on the success of your business, experts in over 40 practice areas, big firm experience without the big firm fees, with a global footprint, creating innovative solutions to complex problems wherever you do business, developing winning strategies for some of the top domestic and international businesses, expert solutions to complex problems. Procopio. Shift forward.
Stay tuned. Some of San Diego's finest young musical talent is coming up next.
This year marks the 20th anniversary of Cox Charities in California, and we want to celebrate with you. From helping those in need to making college a reality for local students, Cox Charities will celebrate 20 years with 20 acts of kindness. Funded by employee donations matched by Cox, Cox Charities has donated nearly $6 million back into our communities to improve the quality of life for people of all ages. Thank you, California, for celebrating with us. Visit www.coxcharityca.org.
Sometimes people look at things so narrow-mindedly, and learning how to take a step back and look at things differently can help you communicate with other people because you can put yourself in their shoes.
We all live on this earth, and if we work together, then we can make the earth a better place.
If you can't get along with people different than you, you're not going to be able to get along with anyone. Because I feel that tolerance is the best cure for hate and racism and for the wrong ideas that have been affecting our society.
If everyone learned to be tolerant and everyone learned to be accepting, I think our arguments would be not solved, but the way we would go about it would be so much better, and I think we could actually find solutions to our problems.
If everybody gets along, the world goes around in a beautiful shape. The world comes alive. It's just mind-blowing how good it is. And you feel good too. It's just...
Well, welcome back to our quinceañera. That was pretty good. I loved it.
Awesome.
Are you ready to see some more incredibly talented students?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I am. Performing a number from the hit musical Hairspray, please welcome Infinity Dance and Performing Arts.
Just
Wow. Incredible.
Nice.
Incredible.
Let's hear it for them. Infinity Dance and Performing Arts.
That was fun.
Yeah, that'll get the blood going. Our next presenter knew she'd found her calling the first time she worked with a student who had special needs.
She now teaches a special day class for children in transitional kindergarten through first grade.
She knows all of her students have abilities and encourages them to achieve whatever they set their minds to do.
Yes, please welcome San Diego County Teacher of the Year, Melissa Moreno.
Good evening. As a parent, we see our children's first steps, hear their first words, or see their first smile. As teachers, we see many other firsts, such as the first time they spelled their name, the first sentence they wrote, or the first book they read aloud. Just as you cheer your kids on at home, teachers cheer them on in the classroom every day as they achieve milestones they never thought possible. Teachers are the lucky ones. Let's meet the next group of nominees.
April Major, Lemon Grove.
We need to prepare these kids. So a lot of that is not just the content, but how to be a thinker, how to be a problem solver, how to work with others, how to communicate your understanding. All of those things are important. You know, the content is important, but those other soft skills, I guess, are just as important.
Carrie Cook, Lakeside.
I believe that one of the most important things I could teach my kids is how to be more aware of their choices that they make in their lives, how to be kind, wonderful people, and how to wonder about the world around them, and to see science in everything, really. That's kind of what I want out of my students.
Erlindo Fernandez, South Bay.
I love just the daily interaction that I get to have with the students, you know, seeing them as individuals. Every time I see a student in my class, I always try to think, okay, what is he or what is she going to be as an adult? So I know that they have a lot of potential. One of the things that I like about the classroom is that I know that I can make a difference as a teacher, and I know that I can have this impact in their lives.
Mickey Sullivan, San Diego.
I don't expect to turn out a bunch of scientists, but I hope to at least spark some interest so that those are students who are ready for those career fields. But even in just their regular everyday lives, like the scientific method, that's something that you do all the time. You ask questions and then you wonder and you make guesses and then you try something out to test it. And then it leads you to kind of a conclusion and then new questions. And then with those new questions, you start investigating more and collecting more data. And so that's something that they do in everyday life, in everything you do.
The 7th finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is April Major.
April Major teaches 6th grade math, science, and STEM at Vista La Mesa Academy. She embeds the important life lessons of how to solve problems, embrace mistakes, and work hard in order to achieve success.
Math and science are everywhere. I start day one by saying, you know, where is math in this world? It's everywhere. If you want to be financially responsible, if you want to learn how your grades work and how the GPA works, it's everywhere. So being math literate and seeing science in the real world, you can't avoid it. So I want kids to have that understanding and excitement about learning it.
She's warm. She's a gentle demander. They know she expects them to do things with their life, but also that she cares for them and she's there for them, and their personhood is equally important to her as their math success. So she's very special that way.
I want them not to brand themselves as I'm good at this or I'm not good at this, because so many times you hear, I'm not good at math, or, you know, that's not my thing. And I think that's sad, that predetermined view on who you are as a learner. So I want students to love it. I want them to just know they can learn anything they put their mind to.
Thank you for teaching me how to be the person that I am now, to forgive others, and like if they've done something wrong to you, just still to forgive them.
everyone was so calm on this. I am so humbled to receive this honor. I couldn't be the teacher that I am today without the love and support and inspiration from my husband and my son and my daughter and the rest of my family, friends, and my colleagues at Vista Mesa Academy and in Lemon Grove. So really, on behalf of all of you, I accept this award. Thank you very much.
So you've already seen our next presenter on this stage tonight, and as familiar as he is to all of us San Diegans, you might feel like you already know him.
But he's really a lot more than what you hear on the radio. I mean, he's spent decades working behind the scenes to give kids the extra support they need to do better in school and in life.
Please welcome back to the stage one of San Diego's homegrown treasures, little Tommy Sablon.
Thank you. I believe, like all of you here tonight, that kids need support from caring adults in order to survive and thrive. Sometimes it comes from parents, sometimes from teachers, sometimes from coaches, and sometimes from people who just care enough to give kids a chance. As a society, we owe gratitude to everyone who helps the next generation grow and mature into caring, responsible adults. I know all of these nominees fall into that category.
Katina Marie de Leon, San Isidro.
I love learning about new ways to teach the students and be able to see what they can learn. I never put limits on them, especially with the little kids. They're like little sponges. They absorb everything. And I think if you guide them in the right way when they're young, then you'll see great things come out of them. I always try and set my goals really high for them and my standards really high for them because I know they're going to get there, and then they have that sense of accomplishment that they can do it.
Kelly Tulloch, Mountain Empire.
Well, I tell my children all the time that where would we be without agriculture? You would be naked and hungry because everything you have has sustenance to what we do. Try to give them a different perspective and teach them about where their food comes from. And ag is not just raising animals. There's plants, there's research, there's marketing, there's lots of things that encompass agriculture as a whole. It's a pretty broad spectrum area.
Sarah McCracken, Poway.
I think the most important thing I teach is kindness. I can teach the math and the writing and the reading, but if I don't teach how to be kind to one another and to love one another, then the climate in my classroom is not going to be as conducive as it could be to then implement the academics.
Cheryl White, Oceanside.
They're only going to be with me for not even a year, but I want to send them out into the world just feeling equipped, feeling confident, and just knowing that they're going to hit challenges, they're going to hit those walls, but they've got to persevere. They have to learn to get along with others and work as a team, and we spend so much time doing that. Set their goals high, have high expectations, and they will soar.
The 8th finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Kelly Tulloch.
Kelly Tulloch teaches agriculture at Mountain Empire High School in Pine Valley. Her program teaches skills of responsibility, ethics, and communication that will impact her students for the rest of their lives.
There's a lot to be said about the hands-on, because a lot of kids are not book learners, they're hands-on learners. And I think that kind of project-based learning it's great. It builds their confidence, it builds their social skills, their emotional skills, their abilities to perform, and maybe they're not a straight A student, but they can do this really well. So I think that career tech ed is extremely important in any school, whether it's ag or it's one of the other pathways.
Our school motto is duty, honor, service always. And she embodies all of that. And she does it through FFA, but I would hazard a guess that if she didn't have FFA, she'd still be that person because that's who she is.
I want them to set their goals high so that they're thinking about what they want to do and make a plan. As freshmen, they may not know that, but by the time they're seniors, usually some of them have figured it out what they want to do, and it's rewarding to see that.
Thank you, Ms. Tulla, for always being there and never giving up on me.
Oh boy. I do what I do for my students, and I try to teach them as much as I can about agriculture, because I think it's important for them to learn things outside the box of what they learn in the other classrooms, even though we do a lot of math and science. And I'm proud to represent Mountain Empire and appreciate all the support from all my colleagues, my family, and my friends. Thank you.
What makes Cox panoramic Wi-Fi so smart?
Its new advanced technology automatically optimizes data routes around network congestion.
Huh? Meaning you get fast Wi-Fi.
No matter how many devices you have.
So say sayonara to lagging and buffering.
Hey, the more devices you have, the smarter your Wi-Fi needs to be.
And there's no smarter Wi-Fi than panoramic Wi-Fi.
We're all good together.
Stay right there. We'll get your toes tapping when we come back.
KUSI is San Diego.
Tonight's salute is made possible by the generosity of these sponsors.
My American dream would be to have an opportunity that would not only help me, but help others to change the world.
Just basically pursuing what you love and learning how to get it.
To be able to achieve greatness, achieve what you want to do in your life, reach your dreams, and go beyond that.
Just having people get along together, like to not have as many fights in politics, and really to just understand people and accept our differences.
Being able to go and impact people and to better everyone, and so we can all, as America and as a society, kind of rise up together.
To be able to have like as much freedom as you can, but like still have laws and stuff, just not like as much, like just as much freedom as you can have.
That everyone can be who they want to be and do what they want to do, and just be peaceful.
Everybody needs to be nice for the world to go around. If it doesn't, it's just going to be an entire blob of just unhappiness. And I don't think anybody in this world wants that.
Welcome back, everybody.
All right, please help us welcome the San Pasqual High School varsity dance team. Awesome, ladies.
So good.
Thank you. Our next presenter thought she would spend her entire career teaching AP English, but found her passion in supporting struggling students.
Yes, so by getting to know each of her high school students as an individual, emphasizing strengths and providing support where it's needed, she knows she's planting the seeds for success.
Please welcome San Diego County Teacher of the Year, Katie Wu.
Good evening. The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. This African proverb highlights the plight of many of our students who may not feel any love or support at home or at school. Misguided behavior is a symptom of an underlying issue, and anyone who works with students has the opportunity to surround each child with so much support that they can't help but bask in the warmth of its love and safety. Here are our next nominees.
Kristen Andrade, San Pascual.
I want them to learn that their situation that they've come from or where they're at doesn't have to define them, and that they can take it to make themselves stronger, that they can take what they've learned from the situation or from me to better themselves. And there are people that want to provide for them and to take those opportunities to be successful, and that they can be successful.
Lucia Baeza, National.
My main thing is make them good citizens, make them productive people, make them understand that they're capable of doing whatever it is that they put their mind into. I want them to get from me, take with them is, my teacher always told me that I was great at this, and I will do it because she says I should have faith in myself. I have the capacity to do it. And that's what I want to instill in my students is you can always do it if you want to get there.
Scott Leonard, Encinitas.
I believe that in order for kids to succeed, what they have to do is believe in themselves and understand who they are. And that's part of our jobs as educators these days, is really getting kids to discover who they are and what they're good at and what their friends are good at and how they can share. And when they truly believe in themselves and in their peers, that's when real learning takes place.
Melissa Ledry, Bonzel.
Every minute counts to me because students are listening, students are watching, students, they're being influenced no matter if you want them to or not, or if you're ready or not. And I think they're why I'm there. And I do love being able to communicate with students and help them understand something that maybe they didn't understand before, or that they've been taught it, but they didn't quite get it. And so those aha moments that you love as a teacher.
So exciting. The 9th finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Mr. Scott Leonard.
Scott Leonard teaches 5th and 6th grade English and Spanish language arts at Paul Ecke Central Elementary School in Encinitas. He empowers his bilingual learners to embrace multicultural views and to believe they have the power to change the world.
I think the best part about being bilingual is the ability to think between two different languages. I mean, it really does. It's worth twice as much. We want kids to be bilingual, biliterate, and then I think the most important nowadays is to have a multicultural viewpoint of the world.
Kids can't wait to come in the room. It's fun above everything else. I think beyond the curriculum, he makes them feel welcome with fun. He's singing, he's playing guitar, he's throwing on costumes. And so the kids say he's the funnest teacher they have on top of everything else.
I think that's kind of job number one, is to create an environment where kids can come in and they enjoy school. They like showing up and learning more, not just about what's going on in the world, history, science, but to understand who they are as well and how everything that they learn might affect them as they grow.
Thank you, because you inspired me so much in 5th grade, and you believed in me, and you helped me understand, and you brought it all to life, and you just helped me so much. Thank you.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-di-da. What an unexpected treat. Matthew, Shay, and Mia, being a father is such a great experience. Makes me a better teacher. Teachers in my world, my mom, my brother Chris, my amazing wife, beautiful wife, Trina, 19 years we've been married, her sister, Milena. We're a family of teachers, and we absolutely love it. It's great. All of my colleagues and friends in the greater Leucadia area, keep on teaching in the free world. Encinitas Union School District, Board of Education, administrators, the autonomy that you give us and the high expectations of academics and creativity creates a passion for us teachers that just moves on to the most important of all, the students that we teach. My students, I know some of you are here and watching on TV. Thank you so much. I learned more from you than you learned from me, maybe. And the future is so bright because of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I like the Neil Young reference. Keep on teaching in the free world. I think we have a new hashtag, right? I have been involved with this program in one way or another for more than 20 years. But this is your first salute to teachers. What do you think so far?
Well, I'm inspired. I'm
Okay.
humbled. I am so very proud to be here tonight in this theater because you are absolute heroes. Teachers are heroes, and I love each and every one of you.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I keep coming back. It's because of you, honestly. Yeah. And what is expected of teachers keeps expanding every day. I mean, your jobs keep getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah, these days the job goes way beyond reading, writing, and arithmetic, for sure.
Yeah, so let's introduce the final group of nominees for this evening. Nicole Goodrich, Grossmont.
My favorite are the students that hate math and aren't good at math because that's like a challenge to me. Oh yeah, you hate math, huh? I'll talk to you in 6 months, we'll see. You've never had me as a math teacher. So there you go. So have an open mind. I want to change that person's perception about math for the rest of their lives.
Jose Bello, San Diego County Charter Association.
Each generation brings its own nuances, its own experiences, but when we're able to go back just a little bit, and it could be a little bit as to 5 minutes, a year, a century, a millennia, then you see things differently. You do, and you're able to learn and to appreciate, and then you are defining yourself as you move forward because you carry that with you. The history of today and the history of tomorrow is very much a part of us.
Jenny Liu, San Diego.
A lot of students struggle, and the hard thing about math is that it's not just let me catch up whenever I want to. And so trying to fill in those gaps and trying to make our students feel successful takes some time. But once the student understands that they can learn and understands that they're smart, but they just have gaps that need to get filled, it's amazing to see them grow and shine in my classroom.
Bonnie Jackson, Santee.
We always talk about how we don't know what kind of jobs the kids are going to have in the future, but they're going to need to read, and they're going to need to be able to read critically and fluently, and it's going to be a key to their success no matter where they go or what they do. And I want to make sure that they're getting those skills that they need to be productive and to be confident and be successful.
Alrighty then, the 10th finalist for San Diego County Teacher of the Year is
Jenny Liu.
Jenny Liu teaches 9th grade math at Lincoln High School in San Diego. She teaches her students how to be effective thinkers, so the math doesn't get easier, they just get better at it.
When my students ask me, why do we have to do this? I always answer with, it's not about the math. It's not about the numbers. It's about thinking. Can you take this problem and can you now break it down and use what you know and get to something that you don't know, but can you figure it out? I love teaching math because it's not about the math. It's about, it's about learning and thinking.
Ms. Jenny Lou loves the content, and she has a passion to impart that knowledge to other individuals. She takes the approach of, what can I do for you? Instead of, I'm here to give you this content. And being a servant to her students, it's really key for students to actually engage with her in the learning process.
A lot of times, math is considered the gatekeeper, preventing students from thinking that they're successful or smart. To change the way they think about themselves is powerful. To get them to think about themselves as learners and to find confidence in themselves is why I do what I do.
I would just thank her so much and make her realize how many opportunities she's opened in my life.
I forgot everything I was supposed to say. I'm so honored to be here and to have a profession that can inspire and mold minds and change lives for students is amazing. Oh my God. Thank you to my husband for reminding me to go to sleep at night when I'm sending my late emails. And thank you to my Lincoln family. I love you. You're amazing. Thank you to our school district for all the support that you provide. Thank you for everything. And I'm so humbled and honored. Thank you.
The right connection can open a world of curiosity for your child. With Cox, families that have a K-12 student and receive government assistance could qualify for low-cost home internet with Wi-Fi. That means more learning and more achieving. Qualify now. It's time to connect with Cox.
Who will be named the new San Diego County Teachers of the Year? The winners will be announced next.
San Diego County Credit Union is proud to honor teachers through the SDCCU Classroom Heroes program. Partnering with the San Diego County Office of Education, 10 teachers were recognized this year and won a $500 SDCCU Visa gift card. To nominate a teacher next year, visit sdccu.com/classroomheroes.
We need to thank our educators and our teachers because they're the people who set you up and to help you find your path and help you sometimes create that path to realize where you need to go and where you should go and how it's possible for you to actually achieve these things.
Because they work really hard for us. They get up early in the morning and they leave school late just to teach us, and they try to teach us the best they can.
Not everybody can fly around the city taking out bad guys, but being a teacher and teaching people and making them want to learn is definitely being a hero.
They are the ones informing the next generation of leaders, the scientists, doctors, the next teachers even, and this determines not only the fate of our city or our state, but also the future of our world.
Because if we didn't have teachers, we couldn't learn.
I think that we need to thank teachers because A, we need them to keep teaching or else nobody's going to learn anything. And B, because we don't do that often enough. I think that we should do that more.
Teachers are very important. They teach us everything we need to know in the future. And in the future, there are some very important things that you need to know.
She kind of just makes you see that you're more than you think you are. She tells you you can do things that you envision and even things you haven't envisioned.
I think that teachers are important because they invest their time into our bright future so we can learn what's right and wrong. Because they're helping you with your whole life, basically. The foundation and what you need in life.
Okay, welcome back. We're getting close to the end of the show. This is the exciting part.
Yes, it is. We've met so many incredible teachers tonight, and I think they all deserve to be honored.
Yes, you all deserve to be honored. And that's really why Cox Communications and the San Diego County Office of Education have partnered to produce this event to honor all of San Diego County's teachers and shine a spotlight on the teaching profession.
We have leaders from those two organizations here tonight to announce the 5 new County Teachers of the Year.
As Vice President of Government and Public Affairs for Cox Communications, Chanel Hawken oversees community outreach and philanthropic giving, which includes awarding scholarships to high school seniors and bringing computers and internet to underserved students in San Diego County.
Thanks to Cox's leadership and commitment to producing and televising this show and its partnership with the County Office of Education, San Diego County has been recognizing its teachers like nowhere else in the country for 29 years.
29 years and counting. Okay, you ready for the big finale?
Oh, yeah.
Please welcome San Diego County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Paul Gotthold, and Cox Communications Vice President of Government and Public Affairs, Chanel Hawken.
Wow, what a fabulous night this has been, Chanel. This is my 3rd year participating Salute, and it's always such a highlight. Student performers are so talented, our teachers are so deserving. This is truly a one-of-a-kind show and a wonderful way of honoring the teaching profession.
It's been such a fabulous evening and so inspiring. I've enjoyed learning more about our nominees here tonight, and I'm so proud that Cox Communications and the San Diego County Office of Education have been partnering for 29 years to recognize our teachers in this way.
Couldn't agree more. I'm inspired every day by teachers and how they're making an impact on our students. And I understand you know something about that personally.
I do. My husband is a high school social science teacher at Rancho Bernardo, and he's been teaching for over 15 years. Go Poway Unified. I've seen firsthand the dedication and caring it takes to be a teacher, but I also see how rewarding of a profession it is.
It certainly is. There is no other profession like it. But before we make the big announcement, I'm going to ask our nominees to stand so we can recognize you one more time. Will you please join me in giving a huge round of applause for our nominees?
Great. All right, here we go. The first San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Christine Hansen.
Our second San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Hilda Martinez.
Our third San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Kelly Tulla.
Our fourth San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Dumas.
And our final San Diego County Teacher of the Year is Nicole Miller.
Wow, had some tears there. So for me, teaching was a midlife career change. I used to be in the corporate world, and I went home at the end of the day unfulfilled, kind of empty. Now I go home exhausted, but filled. I'd like to thank my family, my sister Ann, who flew in from Chicago to be here with me this weekend, and my son Jake, who had to go to middle school with his mother and still loves me. And I just want to thank all of my students for making me laugh, keeping me young, and always inspiring me to be the best and to learn and to grow. Thank you so much for this honor.
I really am humble, you guys. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I really am. I dedicate this to my daughter, who is at that age where she's so impressionable, and I just ask you to take advantage of your education. Don't take it for granted. Learn from your teachers. Take all that they have to offer you, because teachers, don't we want the best for our students, to take advantage of it all? So I dedicate this to my daughter and to my husband, who has been with me since I was a student teacher. And I still look good? But he's been my rock. So I dedicate this to you, Dave. You too, baby. I love you. Thank you, everyone.
She's a hard act to follow. I appreciate the privilege to teach my students skills about life and hopefully give them some hope and direction towards what they want to do with their futures and their careers and their lives. And I appreciate this honor. Thank you very much.
This is so unbelievable. And this house is full of public school teachers, and I'm gonna let you in on a little secret about us public school teachers. We never, ever, ever give up on kids, ever. And I'm proof why, because I was the most unruly, most disruptive kid that any of you could have ever had in your class. But my teachers never gave up on me. And I took those lessons, and I didn't really internalize them at the time, but I certainly did later. So this is for all the public school teachers at Bonita Vista High, Sweetwater, San Diego County, and all the nation. This is all of ours. I'm just gonna keep it in my classroom for a little bit. So.
Hey, to my Mission Hills High School family, San Marcos Unified, thank you. And to all of San Diego County teachers, I'm just looking out here and you guys are just the cream of the crop. So thank you. And to my students, if I've taught them anything, it's to speak up for what you care about. Speak up and speak loudly so that people can hear you. And I hope that they're seeing me do that tonight. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your brand new San Diego County Teachers of the Year.
Good night, everyone.